Hello, King Schools families and friends. I'm Don Dallaire, headmaster at King Schools, and I'm excited to introduce to you a series of parenting videos that we're offering that are going to be done by a variety of our faculty and staff members over the course of the next month. We took a survey and we asked you, what are the biggest challenges you're having in the home as parents? And based on your response, we're going to be doing some videos to help you. And the first one is going to be done by our own Carol Westergaard, middle school history teacher, and it's on the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. So we just want to have you take the time to watch the videos, share them with a friend. We want as many people to benefit from these videos as possible. Share them with a friend, and if you like them, leave a comment so that we can know how to better serve you. But take the time right now to click on that video, and hope you enjoy it, hope it benefits you. Thanks again for your attention.
Okay, welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about the 5 love languages. Gary Chapman wrote a book, 5 Love Languages, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. I'll be sharing with you information about his book as well as introducing the 5 love languages. I will give you specific ways to serve your child in their own personal love language, and that's what's going to speak to him best. I will supply websites with further information and tests so that you can test yourself as well as your child. You ready to go?
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. I'm on the top of the world.
This is the end. Beautiful friend, this is the end, my only friend, the end of our elaborate plans.
So, have you ever had one of those rocky moments? Those moments where you just feel like you're on top of the world and everything is going well, nothing can go wrong by any means? Well, guess what? Chances are your love tank is full. And when we have a full love tank, we are at our best. We have emotional strength. It feels good. And to get that premium fuel in our being, it's all about unconditional love. Something that doesn't always come natural at times of challenge, but unconditional love is what is going to fill up that tank in the most fast way, which leads me to knowing that a child's emotional love tank must be filled before discipline or learning can occur. If a child comes to school or comes home from school depleted, chances are doing homework, focusing in class is going to be quite a challenge for them. So we want to address how we can best serve our children. We can't love them too much. It's not possible. So when we see a full love tank versus an empty love tank, the full tank child is going to be well adjusted, happy, resilient. However, the child with the low love tank might be feeling insecure or angry, inaccessible, oftentimes immature. So we want to make a conscientious effort to take an active role in getting those love tanks to a full capacity. In Ephesians 2:10, it tells us that we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, and He has a plan for each and every one of us, and that plan was determined long, long ago, at the time that children were in the mommy's womb. And so with that reality comes the fact, too, that we all speak different love languages. And we want each and every child to feel their best and to be respected and acknowledged for the way they were woven together. So we have 5 love languages that we are going to be going over. That's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. You might say, well, I'm a loving person. I love my kids. I love my spouse. I love my friends. We all try to show love. The challenge comes in that we all love differently. And so we have different vernaculars. And it's like a foreign language. If I spoke to you in Farsi, you would probably look at me and say, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. You might get a little bit from the body language, but all in all, you can't understand what I am trying to speak to you. And the same goes when we are speaking a love language that isn't our child's first primary love language. And so we'll go over physical touch first. We know that this is a basic human need. It's a natural instinct. Children feel emotionally secure when physical touch is a part of their daily lives. This is the one where it's easiest to be unconditional. Just give them a big squeeze, cuddle, hang out with them. The desire for physical touch decreases as the child gets older. Also, we want to consider that we live in a society of many different ethnicities, and so culturally speaking, love is oftentimes shown in different ways as well. But for the physical touch child, little ones may like to hold hands. A mom and daughter in the middle school, same thing, hold hands, arm in arm, dancing, high fives, combing hair, holding them when they're sick, family group hugs. Middle schoolers, they love hugs. That's the biggie in their world. Words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is a very, very powerful way to communicate love. Once we have said something, we can't take it back. So we best be very, very careful. The words of affirmation child needs praise, needs encouragement. It nurtures their inner being. They are the ones that are going to pick up on your body language. If loud voices or agitated voices are a part of the conversation, it can be very distressing for them. So, we want to verbally affirm their actions. We can do silly things like give them nicknames. Doesn't work for everybody, but a words of affirmation child like that. Talk up their accomplishments. Give them heartfelt accomplishments. And for the middle schoolers, they're asking to be listened to and to please check the tone. Very sensitive to tone right now. Quality time. Quality time is something that, once again, we have to be very intentional about. It's about giving that child your undivided attention. I think about the time that Danny asked me to watch a movie with him, and he was probably 8 years old. And I remember sitting at that couch, looking at the TV, and a big pile of laundry was in front of me. Soup was on the stove, and so I was multitasking. And he finally looked at me directly, and he wasn't a big words guy. And he looked at me, and with words, which was a stretch for him, he said, "Mom, I just want you to watch the movie with me." He wanted that quality time. And I was not speaking to him in a way that he could understand. To him, it just wasn't important enough. I had to do other things that were as important or more important. So we want our students, our children, to know that they are important to us, because that is a fact, but our actions don't always show it. So we want to have reliable presence with the quality time child. We want to be active listeners. They like to hear stories. Tell me about when you were a child, or tell me that one again, repetitive stories. They like to laugh together, and they're the ones that like tradition. Middle schoolers, they love to just watch a movie with you. I mean, how simple is that? They love to sit down at the table and have a meal together. Pretty simple. Acts of service. This child respects, likes, enjoys, feels loved when we perform a service that views that they are valuable. And so we can do service to them by modeling to them what service looks like. Whether it be doing community service ourselves, whether it be helping a neighbor, whether it be being hospitable and bringing people into your home and having a meal, they thrive on that. And you are now modeling to the acts of service child what serving others means. So they're the child that will just really shine in that environment. They like that. And things that you can do for the little ones, tie their shoes, pull their hair up in a cute little ponytail, set up a game for them. Don't ask them to go get the game and pull it out. And then as far as middle schoolers, they love it when someone cooks for them. So cooking, sit down for a meal, having a movie going on. What a great weekend, right? So simple. The gifts child. This is all about an undeserved gift. This isn't about receiving payment for doing something. I will give you, $5 an hour if you. It's something that's undeserved. And you just show up with this gift and that wows them. But of course, it's not about something that is necessarily big and grandiose. It can be something very, very small. You take your child out to In-N-Out. For some reason, they hang on to that cup. The cup ends up on their dresser. And we can't figure out why that cup is still on their dresser. But the cup represents the time and the financial sacrifice that it took for the parent to take the child to In-N-Out and buy them a meal. And so that cup represents a memory. They feel loved. So what can we do for these children? Give them small treats. Give them a gift that could last a lifetime. Maybe a special little portrait of the two of you. Be thoughtful in what you get for this child. And as far as middle schoolers, they love homemade gifts. They're old enough to really appreciate that. And they like money, because money gives them the freedom to bless others and to maybe get something that is a luxury, not a necessity. So, where we need to be careful is how we treat our children in a loving manner. Because our love language is telling us, oh, we're loving them, my goodness. Look at all the things I do for my child. Of course I love them. However, if it isn't their predominant love language, their love tank isn't going to fill up as fast. It doesn't mean that they don't feel loved. It just means that it isn't rapidly filling up. And so here's an example of something that could happen. Dad comes home, he's all excited. He's a gifts dude, okay? And he's all excited because he's got a Starbucks card for his child. And he wants to give this card to the child as an expression of love. But really what the quality time child needs is time at Starbucks. And so had the father known this, chances are it would have been handled differently. Or say the son comes home. Mom is cooking him his favorite meal. Doing laundry for him, made his bed because he didn't make his bed before he went to school. She's being super mom. She's thinking she is really doing a fabulous job. And so she's busy, multitasking, doing all these different things. Son walks in, he aced his test. He wants his mom to stop it all, look at him and say, wow, great job. And you know, there are times that I'll ask students, hey, did you show your parents your test? Yeah. Well, what'd they say? Because I love that kind of feedback. What'd they say? Nothing. And it's like, oh. Now, not to say every parent does that, but it does happen. For this child, like the words of affirmation child, that's a bummer. That's a big disappointment. So the sooner we get to know our children, the better we can love them in a way that works for them. Of course, this works in any relationship between two people. Learn your own love language. Share that with your spouse. Share that with the people that you care about. Significant people in your life need to know about you just as they need to know about themselves. So it gives us insight, gives us a heightened awareness of others, and it's fun to love right. It's fun to show people in a way that speaks to them. Huge blessing. So we also, of course, want to serve our children in a way that speaks Christ's love. Hence, it needs to be in a language that comes natural to them. So, hopefully today you've taken away a few things. Understanding of Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. There are resources that will be available to you so that you can take the test yourself, as well as other family members. After recognition of your child's love language, you will know specifically what to do to serve them best so that they feel loved and that those love tanks are full. And remember, this is something that should be enjoyable, and it's a reminder that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Also, I highly recommend that you purchase his book. I hope today has been a benefit to you, and I want to thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
I'd like to demonstrate at this time ways that you can serve your child by using their love language. And we'll start with physical touch. Come on up, Crystal. Crystal has recently come to King's School. She's an incredible girl. She shares her culture. I love her stories. And I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you and I love you being here. And I can give her a hug because physical touch is her love language. Thank you, Crystal. So, Apple has come this year to King's as well. And so, knowing that she has a love language of quality time, if she needed help, say on a test, I would say to her, you know what, I would love to spend time with you. Come on in during break or at lunch, before or after school. And we're going to spend some time together getting ready for that test, okay? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Chaz, his love language is acts of service. And so with Chaz, I might say, you know, we have this big Constitution test coming up, and how are you feeling about that?
Kind of iffy.
Kind of iffy. Okay, what can I do to help you?
I just need to go over the preamble a little bit more.
Okay, so why don't you come in before school, after school, break, lunch, and I would be more than happy to help you with that. Okay, thanks. Okay, so serving him in a small way, but a way that works for him. And then we've got words of affirmation. Kaylin, come on up. Kaylin has been a tremendous help. Probably the one thing that I like best about Kaylin is after class, he will come to my desk and we'll just have small conversation. And it's a lot of fun. It helps me to get to know him better, and I love the interesting things that he likes to talk about. So thank you for spending time with me and just being a great guy. Thank you. Okay, and then we have gifts. So I'd like Hunter to come on up. Hunter has been a great help and blessing here at King's School. He is very gifted in the art of using technology. He helps the teachers all the time. He teaches us, and he has also made an app for King's. So with that, I would like to sincerely say to you, thank you for all that you do for the school and for myself, and I would like to just give you this little card and have a cup of coffee with a friend, okay? Okay. Just a few examples of how you can best serve your child. So I encourage you all to go online, take the test, and ask your students about their love language.